One of the most common estate planning ideas we hear is, I'm just going to put my child's name on my house so it avoids probate. It sounds simple, it sounds inexpensive, and it sounds like it can solve the problem. But in Minnesota, adding your child's name to your house can create serious legal, tax, and financial consequences, many of which aren't obvious until it's too late. Today, we're going to explain why putting your child's name on your home is usually a bad idea. Hi, my name is Alec Osland, and I'm an attorney at the Yanowitz law firm, where we've been assisting families with wills, trusts, and probate for over 3 decades. Let's start with what actually happens when you add your child to your deed. When you put your child's name on your home, you are giving them a legal ownership interest in the property. That's not just a future interest, it's ownership right now. From a legal standpoint, that's a gift. In Minnesota, this can trigger gift tax reporting requirements even if no money changes hands. More importantly, it changes who owns the property and who has rights to it. Once your child is on the deed, you no longer have full control. For example, you may need your child's consent to sell the home, refinance it, or take out a home equity loan. If your child disagrees or is unavailable, it can stop the transaction entirely. Now let's talk about one of the biggest risks, your child's legal and financial problems. If your child is sued, goes through a divorce, files for bankruptcy, or has creditor issues, their ownership interest in your home can be exposed. In some cases, a lien can attach to the property even though you paid for it and you live in it. This is one of the most common and most devastating consequences we see. There are also serious tax issues to consider as well. When you add your child to the deed during your lifetime, your child receives your original tax basis in the portion of the property you give them. This means that when the home is eventually sold, they may owe significant capital gains tax. By contrast, if your child inherits your home after your death, Minnesota and federal law generally allow for a stepped up in basis, which can dramatically reduce or eliminate the capital gains tax. Trying to avoid probate by adding a child to the deed can end up costing your family far more in taxes later on. There can also be property tax consequences. In Minnesota, changing ownership of a home can affect homestead status if the transfer is not constructed correctly. Losing homestead classification can mean higher property taxes and loss of valuable tax benefits. If you later decide to move or need long-term care, adding your child on the home can complicate Medicaid planning and eligibility. Transfers made within 5 years of the application for medical assistance will be looked at, and you may have to spend down additional money or have the family cover part of your care. So, what's the alternative? The good news is that Minnesota offers safer, more effective ways to pass your home to your children without giving up control during your lifetime. Options like transfer on death deed, properly funded revocable living trusts, or well-designed estate plans can avoid probate while preserving tax benefits and protecting the home from your child's legal issues. The right solution generally depends on your goals, your family situation, and the type of property you own. But simply adding your child to the deed is almost never the best answer. Here's the bottom line. Putting your child's name on your home may seem like a shortcut, but in Minnesota it often creates far more problems than it solves. Loss of control, exposure to lawsuits, higher taxes, and unintended consequences can all result from a decision that was meant to make things easier. At the Yanowitz law firm, we help families protect their homes and plan for the future without unnecessary risk. If you're considering adding a child to your deed, or if you've already done so, we encourage you to speak with an experienced estate planning attorney to understand your options and avoid costly mistakes. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to find out when we post a new video. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.